Actually, wait, no. I see little crosses on the top there. So maybe it is a church. Yeah. Honestly, the church is here. And the castles are so impressive. You can't really tell the difference. Oh, it's green. That's nice. Oh. Oh, that's a nice little area. Wow. What is that? I cannot read that. Can you guys? If anyone here speaks some German, please tell me what this sign right here says. Dies Kirche Verde, 1848 to 1861, erbaut nach den Planen des Architekten Johann Georg Müller, CB Mosnack, St. Cullen, September 15th, 1822. Guest Vienna to Mai 1849. Nach dessen Tod Gertrude vollendet, wie sie City unter der Oberleitung des KK Professors van der No. Pardon if my German sounds off. I don't even know what I just read, but yeah, interesting. Ooh, wow, like look at this. This is towering. It's so massive. Wow, is those like we got some bishops? Is those bishops or like some holy men? Wow. What does that say right there? I can't tell if that's German or is it Latin or something. Venite meomnes, is that a Q? Yeah. Cuvi labораtis et honeratis tes et ego reficiam vos m 1128 or something like that. Yeah, like look at this architecture. And this is this like one of the things you see in postcard Vienna or something? Like damn, it's also walled off, so probably should not enter. So time for a photo op. Alright, cool. Now, I'm sort of lost, but I didn't wander too far away from my apartment, so I think I can find my way back. Yeah. Oh, it's like a little garden area. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, see, so that's the church that we were just at, or still are at, I guess. Like, it's so massive. And this isn't even one of the poster card churches that you'd see on postcards or whatever. This is nice. It's like a little garden here. I don't know what types of planks those are, but yeah. Look at that cross right there. So yeah, definitely a church. One of the doors looks like it's open, but I'm still not gonna go in because I don't know if it's open. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Vienna mobile station. I just downloaded that app. I've never had to use it though. What is that? Is this another church or is this a different building? Mentergas. I should probably head before I get rammed over. That's the street that we're on right now, I think. Alrighty, so any German speakers out there in the chat, please help me out in translating this if you can. So in der Jahren 1941 to 1945 listete eine Gruppe engagierter Frauen und Männer unter der Leitung von Oskar Simak und Hans Zohar in zahlreichen Aktionen Widerstand gegen das nationalsozialistische Regime unter Einsatz ihres Lebens gelang es ihnen in den letzten Kriegstagen im April 1945 die Bombardierung Alterschenfelds zu verhindern und damit das Leben unzähliger Menschen zu retten. In dankbarer Erinnerung Pfarre Alterschenfeld. Vienna, November 9th, 2012. So this is like a little plaque or something. So this is like a former site. Like, I know one of the German words. I know that word. That's National Socialist or Nazi for short. So I guess this has something to do with World War II and like the history of the Holocaust. I'm guessing this is a dedication to someone that resisted the Nazis. Because I know that while it is true that Austria is seen as like a sort of first victim, one could actually argue that they were also an active participant in the war machine and genocide. But at the same time, not all Austrians were. There were many Austrians out there that did resist. And among those that resisted were some fellow Catholics. So is this like a Catholic church dedicated towards one of those Catholic people that protested? Because I know that the euthanasia program, Aktion T4, was hated by the Catholic Church. And one of the people that resisted was a man named Clemens von Galen, although I doubt this church is, or whatever this is dedicated to him. So, yeah. Really dark times, but it's also one that I'm really passionately interested in. So yeah, that's really nice. I'm just taken aback by just walking around here. I don't know if I'm supposed to walk in this though. Ooh. Oh, my bad. Well, all right, well, dude. Oh, wow. And we're back here at this gate. Oh, I did not get a chance to read this though. See what I missed the last time I was here, which was little yesterday. 1821, nach in einem Entwurf von Luigi. Oh, I can't even know if I read that. There we go. Von Luigi Cagnola begonnen 1824 von Pietro Nobile Volendet. Oh, they even put the English translation. That's nice. Started in 1821 based on a design by Luigi Cagnola and completed in 1824 by Pietro Nobile. I think I'm saying that right. Interesting. Wow. This still is just as jaw-dropping as the first time. So here's some little Vienna lore. So this is like the Schönbrunn area. And you see that little area over there? Like that's like a palace. And initially, this same thing was supposed to have like a mirror image on the other side. But then the Habsburg monarchy collapsed after a little thing called World War I happened. So as a result, the other half of this, which was supposed to look like this, was never finished. And this is like a common thing with like Habsburg palaces and other stuff like that. Like it's all symmetrical and it's supposed to make you feel small and all inspired and humbled in the presence of like, I don't know, some prestigious dude or whatever, something. And that back there, I thought that was a church or something, but actually that is the Vienna Rathaus, I think, which is like the city hall or town hall or something, which is crazy because it's like that's not what you think about when you think of like a town hall or city hall. That's like, I don't know, that's what you think of like a castle being or something, which is crazy. And also I think the Schönbrunn is where the president and the chancellor both work in and reside. I believe the president works at the Leopold wing, which was initially designed by Leopold, was it the second or something like that? I forget. Oh yeah, and here's some dark history trivia. This area that we're in is the Heldenplatz, which is like literally hero's place in German. But back in 1940, what was it? Like the 1940s, during the Anschluss, a certain mustachioed Austrian painter was given a speech up there And he is definitely not the type of person you'd say is a hero, but rather a villain. Probably the most hated person in history. So it's weird how this place is known as the Heldenplatz, or Hero's Place, and yet one of history's worst figures delivered a speech from that balcony right there to thousands of people rallied here all together. It's crazy how much history this city has seen, and actually how much history that this one building or just any building has seen. Like literally every building is like a different era. There's like some sort of lore behind it almost, and it's crazy. And here's a nice little touch. So that's the EU flag, and if you look at that Austrian flag, that is not the Austrian national flag, because the Austrian national flag does not have that bird right there with the like Austrian shield thing or whatever, but rather that is, oh wait, I can't even see it. There you go. That is the flag of the presidency, I believe, or was it the chancellery? I don't know. Crazy. Really interesting lore. It's crazy how the president of Austria and the chancellor, I think, both of them work and I believe reside in a place that was once the residence and the palace of the Habsburgs, like of the former castle, which is crazy to think about. I think one of these statues that you see, I don't know if it was this one or if it was that one, but one of these statues is, I think, the figure being depicted in one of them was Eugene of Savoy, who is like a military genius or something. And he's pretty important. I forget what Kathy Stewart told me about him, but yeah, pretty important guy. Yeah, it's crazy how much history this place has witnessed. So let's see who this figure is right here. I'm curious, I forget, but what does that say? I don't know. I'll get closer. Yeah, very powerful and awe-inspiring. Blank something. That is the current National Library of Vienna, right there. Or of Austria. Yeah. I don't know who that is. I think it's Eugene of Savoy, but I'm not entirely sure. Pretty sure that is Eugene of Savoy. Let's see who this person is. So that says Kaiser Franz Josef. So this is Franz, yeah, that's right. This is Franz Josef. And that is Eugene of Savoy, I believe. So these figures are literally like seen as heroes in Austrian history, which is why this place is the Heldenplatz. This is interesting. What is this? Oh wait, these figures have names. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're good. Carl the Sixth. Oh, these are people or something. Some of these people have names. I did not ever notice that before. Carl the Sixth, or something like that. Yeah, Carl the Sixth. He was one of the Austrian emperors, or was he just a Habsburg nobility or something? Yeah, some of these people I just noticed have names. That's weird. I did not notice that until now. There's always something new to discover about just one building in this small city. What does that say up there? Moretto di Brest or something like that? And what does that one say? Correggio. I'm probably butchering all these German words, so sorry, dumb American here. I cannot read that. And you also cannot read that either. Yeah, these places have, some of these like windows have like names that I did not see the last time until just now. What does that say? Oh my gosh, the sun just suddenly became a lot brighter. So this was like where we left the tram or whatever. This is the Volkstheater. Now, if I'm correct, Volks means people, right? Like Volkswagen means people's wagon, and that's a whole different bit of lore that is crazy. But so Volks is like people's, and I think theater is just theater. So this is just literally the people's theater, but please correct me. And I'm assuming they play movies. Yeah, like it looks like, I think that's like a movie or something, or a play or something. I don't know if it does movies. Probably does plays. It doesn't look like a movie theater, but I could be wrong. Maybe it does both. I don't know. What is that poster right there? Impostans 11/7 to 11/8. Interesting. Yeah, these are like plays or movies or something. Wait, what is this escalator right here? Huh? There's a hidden escalator that I didn't even know exists. What is down there? Oh, not bad. Is that like a subway? Yeah, it is. I did not notice that, and it's literally right next to the Natural History Museum. I'm guessing that means no dogs allowed. Good thing I didn't bring my dogs with me. Probably wouldn't be allowed to play. Wait a minute. These people right here are biblical figures. This is Noah, and that's Moses. Yeah, these are biblical figures. They have everyone from like all sorts of different like eras and things that are important to Austrian or just European culture. Like, yeah, you got Moses holding the 10 Commandments. Fun fact, Moses was technically the first person to ever upload data onto a tablet from a cloud. He was the first tablet user to upload data from the cloud. That is insane. You know, assuming you believe in the Bible, but yeah. I'm an agnostic, but I don't deny nor confirm the validity here. Yeah. Wait a minute, these are Greek mythology figures, I think. Here we got Jason. He even got the little epic helmet right there. So that's Jason. And that is Koleios von Amos. And he's got like a harp or something. So yeah, Greco-Roman figures. And literally right next to it we had the biblical figures. That's crazy. It's like every culturally significant figure all in one building. Or two, I guess. What is this? It's like that other plaque that I saw earlier on at that other church-like place. In diesem Gebäude Arbeiten von 1922/23 bis 1934 Karl und Charlotte Bühler, IHR Psychologisches Institut, das zu der Wiener Schulreform von der Gemeinde aufgearbeitet und der Universität zur Verfügung gestellt werden, wo sollte zu den bedeutendsten Forschungsstaaten der Welt. 1995. Is this like a Stolperstein or something? Yeah. Oh, what is this? Autoglockal. Dem Schulreformer. So, this is interesting. So, was that other right there before being taken away? So this road right here, I believe, is the Ringstrasse of Vienna. And it literally just means ring road. And it's just a road that's like a ring. Now, initially, this road was once a giant wall, a fortification that protected Vienna from sieges like the Ottoman Turks and stuff like that.
Completing this structure before the Ring Street engineers had actually put the Ring Street in, the boulevard that we're now driving on. So
inside a castle store-like place. What is this?
What the fuck?
With peace. Very peaceful, right? So we'll see another structure by him. He's very environmentally minded. He thought that architecture, especially in the latter part of the 20th century, had the responsibility of, above all, trying to return to harmony with nature. And he wanted architecture to take its cues from nature. So often you'll see structures of his. There's a board over here, you can see some of them, that are built into natural hillsides, for instance, and that has great cooling effects. We'll talk about the incinerator tower when we pass it a little bit later on. But you'll also notice that there are trees and bushes on the roof of this structure, and sometimes even coming out of balconies of this apartment building. There are more trees living in this building than there are residents, and actually the trees are fertilized with waste processed subterranean in this facility from all of the toilets and gray water in the apartment block. So it's kind of a closed system, and it's incredibly green. It's very, very climate friendly, and it doesn't have air conditioning, but it doesn't need it because of that green space on the roof. So green sky a very interesting guy. In the interest of getting back to the bus.
Oh yeah, is that a Stolperstein right there?
This is a really interesting place. So on this location was the former execution society. Actually, during the entire early modern period, this is where executions by burning happened. So executions by burning are specifically for heretics, but in this case, in 1421, so Gänseweide means the pasture for geese. And the Jews of Vienna, one of the largest Jewish settlements in the medieval period, was in the inner city, circulated around the Judenplatz, if you haven't seen it yet. So, however, in 1421, in Enns, down the road towards the west along the Danube, near the Mauthausen concentration camp, so it's right in that vicinity in western Austria, the Jews of Enns were accused of a host desecration. So this is a conspiracy theory of the Middle Ages. It's completely made up. It doesn't make any sense, but it was used as one of the major medieval anti-Semitic tropes. And the idea is that the host, which is produced by the Catholic Mass, right, the body and blood of Christ, the wine and blood, the host's body. Well, the idea was Jews killed Christ the first time. Of course, it was the Romans, but never mind. Jews killed Christ the first time, but that wasn't enough. They hate Christ so much that they want to kill him over and over again. And how better to do that than to take a host, which after all is Christ, it is the body of Christ. So then you can rip it up, you can poke it with needles, that's the classic, poke it with needles. But the amazing thing is, according to the theology surrounding this, you can rip it up infinitely in little parts, into little crumbs. And in every little crumb is the entire Jesus. So you can spread these crumbs around Austria, and then every Jewish community will have a little crumb that they can torture because that's what they like to do. And so this led to the expulsion of Jews from, I think, Lower Austria in 1421, and specifically in Vienna, the destruction of the communities situated, which was a very important medieval Jewish community. And we'll go to the Judenplatz, we'll do another walking tour through town. Well, I'll talk about that. Anyway, they were, those who were not expelled, they were burned here on the site where other heretics were burned. So if you read my second book, 3 chapters deal with the city of Vienna and which kind of detail all the different locations where executions of different kinds took place in the early modern city of Vienna. Anything else?
You're saying there are a couple of different things throughout the summer. The last time I was here with my students 4 weeks ago, August 15th.
Oh, so it's coming up.
Yep.
Wow. This is the Belvedere or Upper Belvedere? Wow.
Yeah, actually,
Photo time. Photo time.
That happens. French Baroque gardens that span down several hundred meters to another complex called the Lower Belvedere, which is also now a museum. This land was gifted to a man named Prince Eugene of Savoy for helping to defeat the Ottomans in the Second Turkish Siege. What was that date again?
1683?
1683.
No. 18.
I have a list every time.
For a lot of them, it's being
And look at all of the fresh water. I used to work as a rainforest, and these are all quite pricey.
Oh, this is all the wedding?
People coming in.
Maybe they keep the hairs for multiple weddings in a row.
I mean, like, I almost want to ask. This is very unusual. I've never seen it used for a wedding venue before.
Really?
Never.
Oh, wait.
It's used for performances occasionally. And actually,
Watch out,
there's
Mike.
a wedding in Don Giovanni. So initially, I thought maybe that was part of the production.
Right now?
Like,
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wow. Holy crap.
I think it's really funny whenever keep focused, guys. We always say, wow. We're like,
that's
Kathy,
all
get
that-
away from us.
I am speed.
Yay!
Wow.
Vienna, or the very good facsimile in the Beethoven apartment. Another apartment of his has been turned into a Hurrigan, these wine taverns. And there's another of his apartments not too far from here where they say he discovered his deafness, actually, because he, like most working musicians at the time, was freelance, and he was drawing some of his income from being a Kapellmeister for a nearby church, so essentially doing all the music programming for this church for Sunday masses, which meant that he had to show up and play every Sunday morning, and he relied upon the bells wakening him, so that he would listen for the bells. That would be his alarm clock of sorts, and he would get ready and come to mass as soon as he heard the bells and woke up. But he slept through the bells and on several days, and he realized that he couldn't hear them anymore. And so there's a little chapel not too far from the little center of Heiligenstadt that has a plaque that says this is the church bell that basically Beethoven discovered his deafness. So you'll notice that we're climbing now. We're going through a part of the Vienna Woods. The Vienna Woods functions as kind of a green belt that stretches more or less from the north end of Vienna all the way down to the kind of southwest corner. And this is untouchable wooded space that is protected by the federal government. It used to be a source of wood for carpenters and people who needed firewood, etc., until deforestation became a problem under Joseph II, and he put the kibosh on that. He introduced legislation that limited the amount of wood that could be harvested from here. Curiously, that legislation by Joseph II also intersects with the history of Mozart that I mentioned a minute ago. Coffin is called so-called Sparsarg, or economy coffin. Has a lever on the side and a door on the bottom that swings open. And the way that this would be used is the gravediggers would dig out a trench for like 30 bodies and position this economy coffin over the side, pull the lever, the bottom would swing open, the body in just a shroud, nude inside with just a shroud, would drop into the pit. They would sprinkle some quicklime to speed up the decomposition process, and then continue filling this pit with bodies until it was full, then start a new pit, right? And this legislation was so unpopular that the Viennese demonstrated in the streets to overturn it. But Mozart happened to die during the roughly 6 months when it was actually being enforced. So Mozart, when he dies on December 6th, 1791, he is taken to the St. Mark's Cemetery, and he's disposed of in this way, in this mass grave. And then a couple of days later, the grave diggers involved in depositing his body in this pit realize that this guy's locally pretty famous, actually. And so they go in and they take about a dozen or so skulls out of that grave, maybe that same grave, who knows, and they hawk them on the black market as Mozart's skull. And the joke is that there are still 6 or 7 Mozart skulls floating around Austria, and only 3 of them are originals. So if you go, for instance, to the St. Michael's
Is that like a classic Viennese sneeze? I thought that was the water. That's my California kind of brain.
Oh wow, there's so many locks right there.
Yeah, I thought that was a
It's
boat.
crazy.
I didn't realize.
Whoa.
So there are no mountains around here.
They're called the Prealps.
The Prealps.
Yeah,
so they're
the
not like
Prealps.
actually mountains.
They're
right?
not necessarily mountains. No, we're up on the Leopoldsberg, which is named after exactly on the other side of the Danube. So you can see there's two channels to the Danube here. This is two sides of the 22-kilometer long man-made Danube Island that went in the 1970s. It's
And
great.
you could go bathing there. They want to go swimming in the Danube.
Go to the Danube Island.
Can we swim?
And one way that she did this in order to avoid harming the tavern and restaurant operators was to specify that these businesses that opened to sell the young wine, they could do off sale and they could do sale on their own premises as long as the concessions, the food, was a separate business. So this has consequences for us today, namely, usually in these traditional Heugen, you have to go up physically to a window, a deli counter, and order the food separately than the drinks. And typically the food and the drinks come on different bills. And usually that's because this historically has been two separate businesses. These are families that generally have been in the wine industry for a couple hundred years. Great. So we're going to head to Heugen.
Professor, so will the food like all be laid out right?
I'm so impressed that that guy thought I was German. No, you did that. I cooked with that. Okay, yeah, you are.
Oh, there's a car behind us.
Heiligen cat. They often do.
What?
This place is a Heiligen, where we are. And if they have a Heiligen cat, they usually do.
Yeah, twice. And this will be my thrice one. Yeah, we got like chicken legs, and I think we got schnitzel as well. And schnitzel is God tier. I know because my dad made it. And if my American dad can make it, imagine how great the original breed was. Yeah, schnitzel is like, I think those chicken like sort of things or whatever. Yeah, it's an Austrian like or Germanic like type food or whatever. Yeah.
I saw on the menu when I went to Centimeter, but my American breed.
Yeah, I feel like a giant. Yeah.
Oh, that's a face. That is a face.
I'm not even that.
Wow. I think that's also a face. And there we have Jesus, I think. And the guitar. Yeah. Riesling.
It's spelled
Oh, that's good.
ZWICKL.
Okay, I knew it ended with an L, so that's why I felt okay.
What the fuck? Oh, that's a rough.
This is one of the best wine gardens. Dr. Short.
Professor Stewart, is it expensive here to live here?
I think so.
Do you want to buy a property here?
I think so.
Millions of euros?
I think so.
Okay. You have to be like, I don't know.
Rich.
Yes.
Well, I was thinking maybe in Vienna you'd be like a master of some
Oh,
country.
okay.
Oh, wow.
I've been in that Vorgasse Huber. So that means this vineyard belongs to Vorgasse Huber. Which is another one that I've been in, but I like this one better.
Yeah. I didn't think you were laughing, but you made. There's like a DR thing. I thought you made.
It's like in Hawaii living our life.
I'm sure there will be more.
Yo! This is the most epic view of the city I've ever seen.
But if you climb
Wow.
on this edge here, then you can hold your phone above the steps and have an even better picture.
That's true.
Or you can just raise it up like this.
That's right, that would work too.
Alright.
Brody, don't you think this kind of feels like LA a little bit?
So this is a very nice view.
Vienna in the dark. Was this the view?
This way.
Oh my god.
You.
Is it like good? Why does it smell like coffee?
Ooh.
Oh, it's nice. Professor, it feels like Los Angeles a little bit.
It does.
Right? With the Griffith. Yeah.
Dude, this is crazy. It looks, I thought this was a castle for a second, but it's a house with vines. Finally back in the main city area. Yo, this looks awesome. Mm.